Hi, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. So today's reaction is a little bit different. I know some of you guys have probably heard of Megan Ann. She seems very, very sweet. I've seen a few videos by her. She was featured on Obesetobeast channel, and I watch his content pretty regularly, and she seems very sweet. I haven't seen a lot by her otherwise, but from everything I've seen, she seems like a really nice, normal, sweet girl. And she put out this video that kind of concerned me. Not like concerned me, but I mean, it was kind of directed at my corner of YouTube, called the Amberlynn community and why I stopped watching. And I kind of wanted to respond to it. I know that Callie from Life of a Free Spirit has also done so. I haven't seen her video just yet. I'm going to watch hers after I'm done filming mine. I don't like to taint my reactions if I can help it. Twitter is sadly unavoidable, but for the most part, I like to keep my reactions untainted.
Today's video is going to be about Amberlynn Reid and the community surrounding her content. This is not me trying to start any drama. This is just me talking about something that's really been heavy on my mind. And honestly, it's been heavy on my mind because I'm guilty that I ever allowed myself to get sucked into it in the first place. If you don't know who Amberlynn Reid is, she is a YouTuber on the platform who started her channel initially as a weight loss channel. But in the process, has gained around 200 pounds. And she recently just had a cancer diagnosis as well. Naturally, people flocked to her channel because of the mess, essentially. Like, that's like the not nice way to put it, but also kind of the harsh truth about it. And she does have a little bit of a problematic past. She has said some very problematic things in the past. My cats are running around, sorry. And this is me not defending those things or condoning those things. But this is just me kind of shedding light on the community that kind of formed around her content and her channel. Because I do think in a lot of ways that the channels and the content created surrounding her content is in some ways more problematic than she actually is.
So, okay, maybe, right? I can't say, that's a very difficult thing to give a conclusive answer to. There's like large pockets of this community too that I have not explored. But from my own personal opinion and understanding, I feel like the anti-hater community is significantly worse than the actual hater community is. Most of the people that I have seen are pretty nice. I mean, I haven't seen everybody, and I realize that Charlie being the biggest voice in there, sometimes people think that her delivery is very harsh. That's an understandable critique, I suppose. But that is like to each their own type of a thing. That's how I've always viewed her content. To be out and out like fat shamey and awful and mean, I know that there are some creators that are like that, but I haven't seen them. A lot of the creators that I have seen are not mean, as it were. But the anti-hater community, I think, is very toxic. It's not so much their ideas are toxic, right? Sometimes the grander ideas that they have, that they feel that Chantal or Amberlynn or one of the other girls are being picked on, I can understand that. The problem is that they use a lot of racist, homophobic, anti-Semitic tropes. They misconstrue information. They attack people for the wrong reasons. Overall, it's just a very toxic community. But for Megan Ann to make this kind of sweeping statement, such as grand generalization, I think it's very incorrect. I can understand that you think that Amber gets too much hate, but also understand that a lot of it is deserved, right? Not that I think anyone should go on and bully her or send Amberlynn any hate. Please do not do so. But what I mean to say is that lobbying criticisms at her is extremely fair. Let's not forget, she has dead-named a trans man. She has clickbaited suicide. She has continuously trolled for money, and she's made false rape allegations. You you can't look at all of that and be like, yeah, but you should still not do it. I can understand what you mean, but nobody is above criticism, especially not a public figure, and that's what Amber is. She is a public figure.
I started noticing that the creators in this sphere, and I'm not talking about any specific ones, I'm talking about basically all of them, so any that you think of when you think of this whole community, I'm talking about them. They started to become so nitpicky and petty and negative and mean. And when I started realizing that and getting my head out of my ass, that was when I was like, whoa, Megan, like, you can't support this. You just can't.
Okay, I can understand what you mean, Megan, but the problem is that you're painting a very lopsided picture, right? Amberlynn has continuously gotten on camera and trolled as hard as humanly possible for views. She said before that trolling puts her in a negative headspace, that using full body shots puts her in a negative headspace, the kind of attention that it draws. Should we want those people to be better? Yes, but we also have to understand and be realistic. That's why I do everything I can to protect who I am. That's right. If stuff bothered me, I would just delete it. I would not watch those videos. Amber chooses not to do that. She chooses to leave everything on her comments. She leaves them open, which I actually think is a good thing. I think that increases their engagement, but more importantly, it gives people a place to vent, give or take. But the other thing that Amber does is that she uses images and video ideas such as mukbangs or eating on camera that she knows are going to get her hate, and she does them anyway because she knows that hate equals engagement for her. So when you come on here and you say, well, this, and this, but you're ignoring Amber's actions in this equation, you're painting a very lopsided and unfair picture of the community. Let's keep everything equal, right?
This year, Amber got diagnosed with cancer, and she got diagnosed with ovarian cancer or uterine cancer. And when she posted that video, my heart broke. Honestly, I watched it and my heart broke. And she was saying things about how she deserved it because she treated her body so poorly, and nobody deserves cancer. I don't care how you treat your body. Nobody deserves cancer. And my heart broke for her. Genuinely. I sent her a message on Instagram. I don't know if she ever saw it, but I said, hey, honestly, I've been a critic of you for a while, but I just saw your most recent video about your diagnosis, and I told her I just couldn't imagine how she was feeling, and that she did not deserve what she was going through. And I don't know if she ever saw that, but I did do that. And the big thing this community preaches is they're making this content because they care about her well-being and her health. And I find a lot of hypocrisy in that. Again, I'll talk about it in a little bit, but I found a lot of hypocrisy in this because anytime Amber uploaded, there was videos out like that, like instantaneously almost, and reaction videos, I mean. And after this video, it was silent. Some people tweeted about it, but nobody really posted videos regarding it. And I think for a community that talks so much about caring about her well-being and her health, this was a time to really show that and to really create some solidarity and support for this person that makes you money by you reacting to their content. Whether or not it's transformative or not, that's a whole other conversation. This was time for you to actually show the support you say you have for this person, and you didn't. And after that, I was gone. I was gone. I was fully out. I was in support of Amber and whatever she had to do, but in terms of the community, I was done. Because it really showed that they were here to make fun of her failures and to make fun of her life. And when things actually got serious and she was going through something incredibly traumatic and serious, they did not care. They did not care. Yes, they stopped making reactions for a while, but this was a time that they could have banded together and shown some sort of respect and some sort of solidarity for her, and they didn't. And after that, like I said, I was out.
And again, we have this generalization and characterization and lopsided view of the community. The reason why most creators did not make videos on this concept was because Amber hates them. We know she doesn't like them. We know it upsets her. So most creators decided, you know what? She doesn't like it. We're just not going to do it. Let her focus on getting better. And instead, they took all their condolences. They took all their messages to Instagram and Twitter. I saw message after message after message. I saw creators who've been very, very critical of Amber come out in her support and say things to their followers like, you cannot doubt her cancer diagnosis. I don't think you're right. I think that you're wrong. Don't give her this much flack. I saw that myself. So I can say, yeah, probably she's right about some creators. I'm sure there were quite a few creators, in fact, who didn't feel that way, who might not have offered any support. But the big ones, Charlie, Michael, Val, Callie, all of them offered their support. And I saw this. So if you're speaking for the vast majority of the reactors, no, ma'am, you are incorrect.
A big part of me leaving had to do with me realizing how much hypocrisy is present in this community and their content. The big thing for me, and I feel like I can kind of speak on this, and I'm not meaning this in any offensive way, because they've all talked about it, a good majority of the people in this community are or have struggled with their weight, and are or have lost and or are losing weight. And I'm not going to comment on the success or lack thereof of their own personal weight loss journeys and health journeys, because it's none of my business.
That feels very snide, but when you make a channel centered around your weight loss, you make it our business, right? She has a channel dedicated to her weight loss. That's what she started the channel as. That's where she attracted the majority of her following from. That's still the content that people want from her. Now, she wants to pivot to something else. That's her right. But you can't go to people and be like, well, why aren't you instantaneously supporting her? Well, that's not why I subscribed. So her views fell. That's exactly what happened. She pivoted to vlogs. Now maybe she'll build back up her channel and she'll get more people interested in her vlogs. Maybe she won't. But she knows that she's lost views. And to drive up that engagement, she's had a whole bunch of recent scandals, quote unquote, just trolly things that she's been doing. She had that entire Snapchat rant about Amy's life journey. And I don't think for a minute that was genuine and authentic. I think she did it because it would have gotten her a lot of engagement. If you come on here and you say, well, you shouldn't make any comments about her weight, but she's shoving her weight in our face every single video, purposefully trying to draw that kind of attention, and if we fall prey to it and we comment on it and we talk about it, we're the bullies, that doesn't track. I don't agree with you. And most importantly, this is the content she puts out. Other than her weight, the majority of her vlogs, I'm sorry, are not that interesting. Some stuff is. Sometimes it's, interesting and quirky, and she is all the things that she wants to be. But a lot of the times it falls very flat. I can't agree with you when you're sitting there saying, because it's none of my business. Well, yeah, but the reactors didn't make channels about their weight. Amberlynn did. Those are two completely separate things.
Having lost weight myself, if you've never seen my channel before, I've lost about 115 pounds. I had weight loss surgery. I lost 115 pounds. I'm still trying to lose a little bit more. But having lost weight myself and having been in that mindset, I related a lot with the struggles that Amberlynn was having. While hers are and were more magnified than mine, because my highest weight was 315 pounds, I still related a lot to a lot of them. And having talked to people who have lost weight, they also had those same struggles. And so while this is purely speculation, I feel like I can make a pretty educated assumption that these people in the Amberlynn Reid community sphere who are also struggling with their weight and have lost weight or are losing weight probably relate to her a lot more than they want to admit. And I think it is kind of a situation of, oh, she's big, and I'm big, but I'm not as big as her, so I'm better than her. I get that vibe a lot, and especially now that my head is clearer watching these things, I get that vibe a lot, and I just don't agree with it.
I think that Megan and here fundamentally doesn't understand the community that she was once a part of. I don't sit on here and talk about Amberlynn and Chantel because I hate them. I sit here and talk about them because I understand them. I see where they're coming from. I've suffered through this myself. I see that disordered thinking pattern, that disordered eating pattern, and I'm trying to offer advice not so much to them, but to the audience that watches them, to the people that follow them, who want to also lose weight, who want to also do better, and who want to lead a healthier, happier life. That's why I do this. So when you're coming on here and saying, well, they relate to her a lot more than, they want to admit, I'm perfectly willing to admit it. And heck, I don't think I've seen, well, maybe there are a few out there. I don't think Callie was ever really struggling with her weight quite as much. But I mean, Val, you take Michael, you take Charlie Gold. Sorry, my mind blanked for a second. Charlie Gold. All of these creators have talked about how much they relate to the disordered thinking that Chantel and Amberlynn display, right? That's why we want to talk about Amber. Most of us found Amber because we were trying to lose weight ourselves. Most of us wanted to look at somebody as an inspiration and be like, if she can do it, then I can do it. Not in the mean way of I'm better than you. That's why I watch Obesetobeast. That's why I watch Jordan Shrinks, because I see these channels and I see the amazing leaps they've made, the fact that they've kept the weight off, that they're happy, healthy, and thriving. And I think to myself, man, if they can do it, I should be able to do it. I should absolutely be able to do it. That's what I wanted for Amber. That's not what she came to. That's not what she did. I've said it in videos before, but I'll say it again. I want others to learn from my mistakes. I want you to be better than I was and better than I am. That's why I'm putting the information out there. If there is even 10 people who watch this and their takeaway from it is, yay, we learned a new thing and now we're going to lose weight and we're going to live happy, healthy lives, then you know what? I think I've done my job. That's all I want. That's all I really want, is to contribute to positive changes towards the epidemic that is sweeping the country, the obesity epidemic that is sweeping the country. That's all.
Is because I picture like Fat Megan, as I call my overweight, obese self. I picture Fat Megan in the vulnerable place that I was in when I started losing weight, deciding to do it publicly on a YouTube channel, hypothetically, if I did that, and filming the trials and tribulations, and having a whole community of people form on the internet, on Reddit, on YouTube, on fucking Kiwi Farms, whatever the fuck that is. I've never been on that website and I don't intend to. I only know it exists because I've watched this video, or I've watched these videos. Having a whole community of people nitpick and bash my every move and my every failure when I'm trying to do something about it. I picture Fat Megan hypothetically going through something like that. I hope this is making sense. And I wish these people would think about what they are doing to Amber and project it back onto themselves and make it think about how it would make them feel.
Here's the thing. If this channel started impacting my health and well-being, I love you guys, but I would be gone in 50 seconds. I would ghost this channel so fast you wouldn't even know, right? You're sitting here talking, even if you're not talking about me, I'm sure you're not talking about me. I'm going to give you examples. Michael, Zach, straight up left because it started impacting them. They just left. No issues with it. They were gone. Michael doesn't even make videos anymore as far as I know. And Zachary, Michael has moved on to other things. Charlie took months off. Val took months off because it started impacting their health negatively. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can control your own actions. So when they notice that stuff they were putting online, stuff they were watching was upsetting them, they're just like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And that's what I would do too. The fact that Amber chooses not to do that is not our fault. You cannot control the actions of others. We should not be held liable for her actions. We can only be held liable for ours. If she's putting stuff into the public sphere, but people's reactions are what are bothering her, she has the option to simply turn off her camera and walk away. That's all she had to do. She chooses not to do that. To expect us to not talk about her, to not react to her, is unfair of you when you will assign her no blame, no responsibility for her own life and actions. It just doesn't track for me.
They have the audacity to criticize how she is handling her cancer diagnosis and the treatment thereafter. I don't know about you, but I feel like being diagnosed with something like that would be an incredibly traumatic experience. And it is evident that Amber has some unresolved psychological problems with food, which is fine. I've been there. Like, I've sorted that, but I was there and I understand it. And I would think that I would think if past Megan, who still had those problems with food, got diagnosed with something as severe as cancer, that I would turn to food even more. And it really hurts me and it really confuses me that these people who claim to have her so figured out don't think of it like that. Like, trauma, when you have an issue with food, trauma equals food. Trauma equals eating. And getting diagnosed with cancer is traumatic.
I think this is the exact point that most of the haters are trying to make. I cannot tell you the number of times I have seen other reactors say to Amber, hey, Amber, lose weight. Hey, Amber, please go to therapy to lose weight. Hey, Amber, please see a dietitian. We might not be saying it in the same manner. We might not be delivering the information to her in a way that she appreciates. But at the end of the day, most of us are telling her, go see a therapist, go see a dietitian, go see a doctor. She has the money to do all of that. Amber chooses not to help herself. Amber chooses instead to troll for views, to eat on camera, to spend her money on stupid, useless things. That's why people get so nitpicky and get so mad. When she spends hundreds of dollars at Bath & Body Works but won't get health insurance, as a morbidly obese woman, she could have a health complication at any time. At some point, concern turns into anger. Worry turns into upsetness. That's a human emotion. I relate to her. That's why I feel a type of way. If I didn't relate to her, I wouldn't care what she did. I'm invested in her life. I'm invested in her future. And even if she does manage to lose the weight, right? You're talking about how because she has a disordered eating, for her, food equals comfort, right? I understand that, but it doesn't have to be like that. I was like this myself. I went to therapy and I got better. I said Chantel almost, but if Amber would go to therapy, she too can get better. But she has the stubborn notion that she will never address any of her mental health issues other than taking medication, and that will somehow fix her. She might lose the weight, but I'm not sure she can keep it off if she doesn't get the mental health that she requires. I found it so odd that she looks at every video from every frame as, oh, hey, this is how fat Megan would have reacted. This is how fat Megan would have felt. But this issue, this problem where food equals comfort and comfort equals food, she won't address this through the lens of current Megan at all, which I think she really should, right? She won't address it because it's hard to give Amberlynn a pass on not working on her mental health when she has the availability, the time, the money, and the energy to do so. It's harder to excuse her actions then, because then you see that she wants to continue living this lifestyle. And if we can't criticize somebody not wanting to help themselves, then what can we criticize? I'm sorry, but it makes me feel like every action that Amber takes is somehow the fault of the people that are watching her and reacting to her and talking about her. And Amber herself is the perpetual victim of life. That nothing she does and nothing she has and nothing that she currently is going through is ever going to be resolved by things that she can do. If we just shut up and stop talking about it, somehow magically Amber will be better. That's not true. And I'm sorry, but she's going to have to learn to deal with people for the rest of her life. Even if she's not on YouTube, there's going to be situations, there's going to be critical people that are always going to come up. She needs to handle her mental health. And you just saying, well, can you not understand that, for a fat person that food equals comfort? I do understand it. That's why I want her to go see a doctor, so that she can learn to not have that equate to the other. So she can learn that comfort can come from other things, can come from loved ones, can come from movies, can come from sleep, can come from X, Y, and Z. It doesn't have to be food. She's not going to learn that on her own. She's not shown any ability to do so far.
Another part of the hypocrisy that I find with this community is in their use of monetization, and they're criticizing of her monetizing her content Yes, I realize that there might be a bit of hypocrisy in me monetizing this video, but I don't intend to put any clips or anything in here, so I'd like to think it's a little bit different. They criticize her a lot for monetizing her weight and monetizing her food addiction, which to a point I do believe she does when she's eating mukbangs of fast food and moaning and like all this weird stuff, for sure. But I think what they fail to realize is that by drawing the attention and fueling the hate towards her, they are also monetizing her weight and her food addiction for themselves. So she's not getting the money. They're getting the money. Because in some instances, their videos get more views than her videos did. I think they fail to realize the hypocrisy in that, and the fact that that's one of their main criticisms, is that she monetizes her addiction and her weight when them only making content about her on their channel is doing the same damn thing.
No, it is not. It is not the same thing. Chantel makes this point a lot, but the food is killing Amber. The bullying, quote unquote, isn't killing them. It isn't killing the reactors. Me reacting to her is doing nothing to me negatively, other than maybe occasionally making me very upset, right? But the food is actively killing them, both Chantel and Amberlynn and Amy's Life Journey and Life by Jen.
And I thought I was better than you when I'm not, and neither are these people. These people are not any better than you.
I am not claiming to be better than any of the girls. I'm not. The only thing that I can tell you is that I took the step to try and be better than my past self. That's all I'm trying to do. It has got nothing to do with them. Completely detached. She's not willing to do that. She's not willing to address anything in her past. She just simply wants the weight to disappear so that she can live her optimal, YouTuber influencer lifestyle without understanding that that's not how it works. No amount of money can fix what's going wrong inside of you if you don't get help.
Also, has anybody ever stopped to think about maybe the fact that this whole community has been created online, like I mentioned, across many different social platforms just to criticize her? Has anybody stopped to think about how that and the hate it fuels towards her is causing her to binge more and causing her to turn towards food more because she doesn't know how to handle the emotions it creates for her, which I'm not judging her for that at all. Has anybody stopped to think about that? And if you really care about her well-being and her health, you should start thinking about that.
Once more, everything is the responsibility of others. If I can be allowed to misquote SmokeySteveAndMarc, you'd have to be lying down in a prone position to be that big of a victim. Look, don't send her any hate, okay? She seems like a sweet person. Honestly, from everything that I've seen of her, she seems really lovely, and most of her videos are very informative and pseudo-educational, and I can see that she's struggled with weight herself, and I get it, right? So don't send her or really anybody else. Please don't ever come to my channel and then send direct hate towards Chantel, Amberlynn, ever. I'm going to start putting that in my description as well, so people don't start thinking that I'm giving them carte blanche to do that. But her understanding of the community is extremely lax. Her misunderstanding of personal responsibility is also very prevalent throughout this entire video. I don't know who she watched. Maybe she watched just some of the harsher critics of Amberlynn. There are some. I know that for a fact. And I know that Amber gets a lot of hate just for being a fat person on the internet. But her actions are also such that she gets a ton of hate for that. And the fact that you want us to be quiet, essentially, when Amber continues to be a garbage person who abuses animals, who makes rape allegations, who, heck, makes a TikTok while Becky is picking out a headstone for her mom without any understanding of the situation and without any kind of empathy. You can't sit there and tell us, oh, well, don't ever talk about her. Most of us are not talking about her weight. Most of us are not even talking about her appearance. We're just talking about her actions. And if you're saying that a public figure's actions can't be criticized, I don't know what to tell you, dude. I really think you're in the long run. I can't talk. Wrong line of work. That will be it from me, guys. Please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you hated this video, that's okay too. Leave me a comment down below if there's something you really, really want to know. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the notification bell if you want to know when I post. I have my social media accounts linked down below. You know, I've got my Twitter where I pop off occasionally, Instagram where it's mostly just food and the recipes I'm making and what I'm doing in my day. I've got my Patreon down there. Think of Patreon like a tip jar for the internet. If you think that I'm doing a good job, please consider throwing a few dollars at me. I would appreciate it. You don't have to, but I'd appreciate it. And remember, I am Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable.